how would you like to develop your thought leadership platform? And we have Kelly with us, which is the founder of an impactful marketing agency, right? So tell us, Kelly, what are the 5 steps that entrepreneurs can do in order to be the thought leadership platform?
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
Yeah, so 5 steps. Number 1 is to make a list of your target audience, where you are best able to reach them. Number 2 is get on podcasts. Number 3.
Good.
Yeah. Number 3.
I love your number 2 step.
Yeah. Especially this podcast, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 3 is to develop content. I want to say for LinkedIn, but it depends on where your target audience is. So we'll refer back to step 1 on that. Number 4 is to get out and speak. Speak at events and go to networking events as much as you can. And then number 5 is have a book that establishes your credibility in your industry.
Wow, that's amazing. Now let's talk about the speaking thing. Yeah. So how people can go out there and find more speaking opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm on the space, I got the company, the name is Speakers and Leaders. So we're going to have a lot of fun in this interview because I'm on the space. So
yeah.
Tell us a little bit more.
What's that?
Yeah, tell us a little bit more how people can go out there and find more speaking opportunities.
Yeah. So there's lots of different ways to start pursuing that, right? But some of the tools that we use on my team, there's platforms like Speaker Hub, Call for Speakers, .net. Of course, you could even do good old fashioned Google, Google Call for Speakers and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. But the more you start digging into where your target audience is and what where those events are, you start kind of getting down a path of like finding more and more of those types of events, right? So it's doing some of that research. There are those platforms out there, like I mentioned, Speaker Hub and Call for Speakers. There's others like that. We use those a lot. Those are great platforms. They do have a fee to use them. So, you have to either invest in that or be willing to kind of do a lot of work up front on the research part to pull a list of the ones you want to start pursuing.
Let's talk about your step 1. Okay. Define a target audience, right? People say, what that even means. What is it? Because it sounds beautiful, but what is behind meaning the target audience? Can you share a little bit more about this?
Yeah. So I mentioned on step 3 that LinkedIn. So most of my audience most of my clients are going to find their target audience on LinkedIn because they're B2B businesses, right? But going back to step 1, know where your target audience is to be able to reach them. So that means like knowing where they are, what events do they go to, right? But also what platforms should you show up on? So I mentioned LinkedIn because if you are B2B, you're probably going to find your target audience on LinkedIn. But if your product or your service is something different, you might actually have more success reaching your target audience on Instagram, for example, or TikTok. It doesn't really matter what platform you're using, but I think what a lot of people do, a lot of entrepreneurs, we tend to try to do all the things. We try to be everywhere and be, cover all of our bases, right? I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on, all the things. And it gets to be too much. But if you're speaking to your target audience and showing up where they are, you're going to be more likely to reach them and to engage with them.
Wanna be more effective,
So
yeah.
yes, absolutely. So it's not just, in your social media content, but also in, what events are you going to find them at? I go and speak at events, and if I go to an event and I'm like, this is not the right target audience, I don't try to come back to that event because I know it's just going to be, it's great to go to get out and practice, but really to find more target clients, I
Unless
need to
you
be
practice,
focused.
yeah.
Yeah, well, practice is good for, yeah,
Oh
especially if
yeah, for the
you're,
speaking, tell me about it. Yeah, the more you practice,
yeah,
the better you become. Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Let's talk. A lot of people could be listening to this podcast, and you have a brilliant corporate career before, and now you started on your own. So, what message do you have for women in corporate that they're listening to you and they are like, "Oh my God, how come? Where she find the strength to do that?" You know, they are trapped in a golden cage, in the corporate golden cage. On the other hand, there are some good, positive and cons being an entrepreneur. For example, here now you cannot tell people this is not my job. Everything is your job. You're the founder. So tell us about how have been your experience for corporate to become your own uh, boss, and what message do you have for the people that they still on the fence? Not that we
Hmm.
encourage. Okay, I'm not gonna say this. We encourage everybody to be an entrepreneur. However, we encourage them to is if it's for them, we encourage them to do to start the business on the side first and try to see if they like it, if they can set the pro, they don't really like this lifestyle, and then to do the transition. Like you, for example, why you did the transition? I'm sure
Yeah.
you're brilliant, so they pay you very good money in corporate. Why you decide to to start your own business? Did anybody told you that this is not a good idea?
I never would have done it on my own. I
Oh
never would have
wow!
made that
So
decision.
then what happened?
And I look back and I think, why didn't I make that decision for myself, right? I was in marketing within a company for 7 years, and my company, I like to say that I did my job too well, Harry,
Well,
because
I don't doubt you were the director in the first place. So
well, I helped my company grow from 4 million to 12 million. And when we hit
wow,
that
you did
12
that
million, yeah.
as a marketing director. Man, I need to hire you for my company. It's a very
Yeah.
investment.
Well, when we hit that 12 million mark, though, we were acquired. And most people who are in marketing know that during acquisitions, marketing departments are seen as redundant, right? The
How come
larger company,
redundant if you make it grow the thing? Actually, if I'm
well,
acquired this company, I will ask for you. Say, who scale it? Who scaled the director of the thing that scale it from this to that? I
yeah,
will pay you more.
yeah,
I will tell you, look, can you do it? Can you do
yes,
20 to 100 million? Would you like to take that challenge? That would be me if I acquired this company.
yeah. But
Redundant?
typically,
What these people are
larger
doing?
companies,
What they're doing, these
lar-
people? I think they have
yeah,
too much money. They don't know what they're doing.
larger companies tend to see like, oh, our team is doing these things and we don't need this other team anymore, right? So that's, they eliminated some of the positions within the company. And like I said, I wouldn't have chosen to leave. I would have stayed in it, but it gave me the runway that I needed, right? I found myself without a job and I said, okay, well, I think I'm going to start my own thing. And I did. And I wouldn't go back.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Once you become your entrepreneur, I'm telling you, I haven't, in 18 years, the first time that you tasted this, especially you fill your own calendar, this is a big thing that can happen ever. I decided to have off Mondays because I wanted and because I can. So Monday, when everybody's so stressed out, I have nothing to do, and I love it. You go to a
yeah,
restaurant, it's empty. You go to a cinema, it's empty. Everything is empty. It's a brilliant idea. So I've been having Mondays off for a long time. It's amazing. What can you do when you're your own boss? And so it's a great experience. Look, True story. Imagine how lost I am in my space that I dance salsa and I was dancing salsa in London. And one of my friends who dance salsa, he said, "Look, I'm going to India." And I asked him, "How long?" And he told me a week. And I'm like, "Man, you crazy? You're gonna go all the way to London to India so far and you're only gonna stay a week and come back? Why you don't stay a month or two?" And the guy told me, "Harry, the problem is I only have 7 days holidays left in my job." And I'm thinking when he gave me this answer, how lost I am in my brain in a way that I live my life as an entrepreneur. That when I go on holiday as long as well. Actually, this we operate in a different way. We have a speaking gig in Singapore. Amazing. We go 15 days before because we need
Yeah.
to see the place and everything, and and see the venue and stay on holiday. And then of course we need to be 15 days after because after the event you talk to people and then we go to Mexico doing the same thing. We go to Dubai, to Mexico, Peru. Where have we been? I forgot. Mexico, Peru, Singapore, Dubai, London. Yeah. So it's amazing, right? But then you get so lost in the way that you can plan and live your life as an entrepreneur that sometimes you have a friend that's in Zaza, it's a community that have nothing to do with entrepreneur. People give you this answer. I'm like, oh my God, that's that's painful. So and even the other day also people from corporate, I was listening to them. They went on holiday and they went to so expensive hotels and so expensive clubs, and they wasted, in my opinion, so much money. And when I asked them, "Guys, you crazy? Why you don't get something more affordable? Yeah, you have jobs on the first place." And what they told me, "Harry, I work very hard the whole year, so for the only week that I have on holiday that I can enjoy it, I don't care. I just throw the money out. I get the most expensive clothes, the most expensive hotel, and who cares?" And I'm thinking, wow, my God. So there are in corporate, we have a lot of this situation, people that they are cash rich and time poor, which is, I love to, this timing thing is amazing. When you started the business, when I was young, long time ago, when I started my business, I used to have hair. You go and work like 16 hours and you're the hero of the company. Oh my God, Harry worked 16 hours. I was walking into the office. I'm the CEO. Like, I'm a big hero here. I worked 16 hours last night. And all the employees, "Man, you are amazing." Now if somebody coming to me to tell me, "Harry, you have to work 16 hours for one day in this business." I say, "You crazy." What are you talking about? It doesn't matter. You can be, no, I have this project. You can be the king of England. I don't care. I don't want to work 16 hours. And in a day. So tell us a little bit about this transition, about from corporate to what it took. What at the beginning nobody knows you. You're not sure. You haven't been there, and then sometimes you want to sell the product at the beginning. People want to pay. Nobody knows you, and you have all this negative emotion. That you thought that, you know what? I find another job because you can easily find another job. You well qualified. I don't think that you will have a problem finding other job with your background. So what happened there? How this starting up thing actually works, and what was the biggest challenge for you, and how you become that challenge?
Yeah. I think so the day that I lost my job, I told myself I was going to start applying for 10 jobs a day. I was just going to like give myself a number and just start applying. And I think I did that one day, but I just had this thing in the back of my mind that was like, but I have this vision of a company I want to create.
Wow.
And so I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't apply for more jobs and go through the process of interviewing and looking for somebody to find me as valuable enough to bring on their team. I just couldn't do it.
You need to
I
prove yourself to anybody, and
Yeah,
that's the whole point of this. Do you understand? You get tired. I was very bad employee. I have to say that because even if I was working as a waiter, in in a and wait. My first job in London was in a pub, right? Didn't speak English, so you arrive there. This is what you do at the beginning, and even me
Yeah.
collecting glasses in the pub. I'm thinking one day I'm gonna have my own restaurant and I'm gonna have my own pub, and I actually did have my own restaurant. Lost 200,000 pounds in this. That's another story for another day. But um, the whole point is that this gene, as you as an entrepreneur, is within yourself. It came on the package since you're very little. It's just that, and everybody that has been in this podcast have this gene within themselves. That nothing to do. It's not hereditary. It doesn't matter if your parents are entrepreneurs or not. That nothing to do with that. You just have it within yourself. My question to you is the following: why do you need to wait for the worst day of your life to become the best day of your life? And that's also happened to me as well. I have this, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be an entrepreneur. I was working in a pub, things like this. Working there in the pub, my dad got cancer. I didn't have money to go there to go and see him. And I'm so angry with me because I'm so broke that I said, that's it. I took the book of Roy Kiyosaki and then I went to a bank. I borrowed 3,000 pounds. They couldn't lend me more because, I was making so little money as a wait. And then I started my property business that we managed to sell over 5 million. So, uh, why do you have to, or why let me include me in the question because why everybody, most of the people need to wait until the worst day in your life become the best day in your life. Is the gene is already there from the beginning?
Yeah.
Any answers? What's your
I
opinion on
think
this?
it's, I mean, I think it's somewhat fear, right? Fear of losing that paycheck and not
Safetyness,
knowing.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, and this might be my perspective as a woman, but I was a woman who worked for a man for my whole career. I had two long-term jobs. I worked for a man, and it wasn't anything about what the man did, but like the feeling that I got was like he was the visionary. He was the person that knew everything, right? And I was just helping him. And that feeling makes you feel like, well, I'm not meant to be the person in charge. I'm not meant to be the founder, the CEO,
Oh,
right? But once
wow.
I mean,
Wow.
that was, it just didn't feel like that was who I was until I started doing it. And I realized that I told a friend shortly after starting my company, I said, I feel like myself for the first time, like 100% myself for the first time in my entire career. So I wasn't just doing what someone else told me to do or suppressing my own thoughts and opinions because I knew they wouldn't like them. I was determining what we were going to do next. I was making the decisions and I was like,
How that
I
feel?
love
Amazing,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
fire, yeah.
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 Yeah, so I mean, think it's like we don't, I think women tend to see themselves as smaller and they don't see their
No, but
full.
also I'm glad that you brought this point. Also, the framework, it's not helping out either. Sometimes depends on the company you're working for. If they don't, there are sometimes entrepreneurs. Even me when I started my company, I was lucky that I dropped that ego. But at the beginning, when we start companies and we start to make some money, we think that we're the big deal, especially men. That we're the big deal, that we know everything, that everybody had to say, to do what we say, and we're the big deal, right? But little by little, I realized that, if you don't drop and surrender that ego and you allow and empower your team to go forward, this is not going to work because all the decision to me happened the opposite. My manager fired me. She one day I go to the office, tell me, Harry, go home. We don't need you here. I'm like, what? No, 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 no. Go home. We can grow this company without you. Travel the world if you want. Don't come here. You have nothing to do clearly. You come here to talk. We try to grow a company here, and we. The truth is that they were better than me at everything. And when I surrendered that thing that I'm a big deal, I'm a big boss, and everybody had to do what I say to. Okay, hey, you wanna do it seriously? Okay, do it. And then they start to do it. And then I'm so excited because I can't believe that you can do it better than me. I was telling to everybody, I was so impressed that my business owner friends, I was telling them, I said, man, you won't believe my thing what they do. They go and sell the product better than me and faster. I'm asking the girls, how you do it? Teach me. Because when I was doing it myself, I struggled so much and you guys do it so easy. Why you don't teach me how you do it? You clearly better than me. So the point that when you attract talent to your organization, something magic happen. You can become obsolete in your own company. I remember that Eva, my manager, used to come to tell me what you was doing with my company. She would tell me, okay, Harry, this is what happened this month. Okay, we're gonna expand this. I'm gonna acquire this. We're gonna increase the price of this. This is not working. I'm gonna move this tenant to this room. Blah blah. I'm like, wow, amazing. That's what you're gonna do. I'm thinking, wow, she's doing more than I would do myself if I would. Very, they took ownership of the company, and I think that now that you're on the other side, because I also was an employee, I was no I always think that I can do better. To be honest with you, I was very bad employee. I have to say that in my short career as an employee, because I cannot say that was long because it wasn't. Maybe I worked 5 years as software developer in Spain and couple of years in as a waiter in a pub and 2 years as a room service in the Hilton. And in the last 2 years as a room service in the Hilton, parallel, I built my business. So I had this transition from employee to business, but I did it gradually. I was doing both at the same time until the business grew so much that it was no point to go to a Hilton. I was making the same money in one day in my business than the whole month in the Hilton. So it didn't make sense anymore. So what was the biggest challenge that you face in this process? And now that you are on the other side of the equation and you see your team members, no, because you don't do to people what they don't that you don't like that they do to you, right? And so tell us a little bit more how is the space and the environment that you created with your team.
Yeah. Biggest challenge, I would say, I think at the beginning, it's just like, how am I going to get that first client, right? Which
Very
happened actually,
interesting.
yeah, it happened very quickly because I'm part of a,
Really? It doesn't
yes.
happen quickly. Happen quickly because you're very good.
Well, I had a good network, right? So my network was really important in, I put out some announcements about what was happening, and I joined a community for marketing agency owners, and yeah, I've got my first couple of clients pretty quickly. So it felt like it was going to be this huge step. And then it was like, oh, this came together really easily. And then I got the next client, and the next client, and it really just grew pretty quickly. One of the things I did pretty early on was I created our company, our core values, because I was pretty intentional about, like you said, there were things that had happened to me in my career. Like, for example, something that's really important to me is respecting other people's time. I've always worked remotely. It's important to respect people's time when you have a meeting with them, but also when they're
Tell
when
me
they're
about it. I
away.
live in London. The people don't like when you're late. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, in my previous jobs, there was people who would show up late all the time or just blow off meetings completely, right? And that was so
Oh
to me,
wow.
it was like we're not going to have a culture that's like that. Like we respect each other's time, we respect each other, and so we had some core values that I wanted to be intentional about as I bring on team members. I want us to treat each other in a certain way. So that was, one of the things that I did early on. And I mentioned to you, I think before we started recording, I now have a team of 10 people. And so I think it's really important as a leader to be very intentional about the environment you're creating. Otherwise, things can just get out of control, and you're not, you're not fostering the environment that you really want to have for people.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit more because culture um is key in all this because now bringing people to your organization, it happened to be that even I think that you didn't resonate 100% in the company that you were there because your culture as a human being didn't match the culture of the company, right? It was good in the company. Well, it was okay that if you are late for the meeting and you don't go, it's cool. I don't know. It's okay. It's part of the culture. You should be busy doing something else. And if I am like this, then I want to arrive late and blow meetings and do this, and people need to hear from me. I will go to work in this company. It would be amazing because my culture as an individual. Match the culture of the company. The problem is when you have a team member that the culture doesn't resonate. So now you're not 100% performing because your values and your principle as a person don't match the values and principles of the company. I have, for example, in my company, right? In my company, in the last 18 years, I never hear any employee tell me, Harry, this is not my job. Even why? Because it's a culture, right? I like it, to I don't like to have big team members in any business that I own. They're usually very few people, and we increase sales. We sell a lot, but I want to I want to just don't have so many employees. So the employees that come to my organization, they have to be what I call it 360. They're have to be very proactive. No, today we
Mhm.
have to do this. Today we're doing this. Even this podcast, when I said to my team, we're gonna do a podcast, they told me, "What is it?" I say, "I don't know either. I know less than you." I say, "Harry, what is this podcast thing you wanna do?" I said, "No, something trendy. I hear. I wanna do one." And they told me, "Okay, give us 3 weeks." And let's see what, because in mind now you come today that you want to do a podcast, and then after 3 weeks, when they came back, my team, they told me, Harry, don't touch anything. Just press the button, record the thing, you upload the video, forget it. Will go to Spotify, Apple, the computer, everything, to your social media will be amazing. Just and they know that they knew that I'm, that for me, they've been working with me for so many years, so they know that okay, that for me they need to keep it simple. They knew that they cannot come. Oh, Harry, you have to press this, with complication. They know me for so many years. I also they know, but they didn't tell me, no, this is not my job. I don't care. They say, okay, we're gonna be proactive as we are in this company, and we're gonna figure out. And by the way, we're gonna do it amazing, right? So um, whether it's somebody, unfortunately, the people that have come to my organization that more, I don't know, less proactive, more okay. This is my job. This is my job description. I'm not gonna move from here. Okay, and maybe that's very good for a multinational with a lot of resources, but small business that you created a product and you want to scale it quickly with few little people, you need people that they are more proactive, that they're multitask. Okay, and some people fit, and they've been working with me for years. And some people that came, I realized that the problem is that there is a culture mismatch. So when you bring in people to your organization, how you evaluate this cultural thing? Do you do interview for culture also for skills, or just from knowing the person, or who does the interviews? You do the interviews, somebody else does it. That's the other thing. What happens if somebody bring a mistake and bring someone to your organization? That also happened to me. An employee can make mistake and hire someone that doesn't match the culture, and then I'm stuck with someone that say who hired this person in the first place. So tell us a little bit more about all this.
Yeah.
What's your view, your vision, your how
Yeah.
you deal with this?
We're still pretty new, so we've been really lucky that I was able to bring on a couple people from my previous job who also lost their jobs. So I
Oh
was able to
wow,
bring
you
them.
provided the job. Oh, that's amazing. That's leadership.
Yeah, I was able to bring them on really quickly, right? Because they were like trying to figure out what they were going to do next, and so that was nice. And then the
Very
the
nice.
additional people we hired, we were able to hire kind of friends of them who were in stages where they were looking for jobs. So
Still the friend thing sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Been
yeah,
there,
yeah,
done it.
we'll see.
Uh,
Yeah.
no, if they are already in and they match with the culture, it's fine. But the fact that they are friend of friends. That means, it for any
Yeah.
reason the culture doesn't
Yeah.
match is could be a challenge there,
Yeah.
especially starting out. So tell us, what have been the best outcome, right? You talk about finding the first client, which is one of the most challenging challenges that entrepreneurs will have, right? To finding the first client. You have a big network. So, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs out there that they're incorporated, they want to start their own business, and how they're gonna find in the process of finding your first clients, which is the most difficult, I think, right?
hmm I think it's your network. It's finding, so if you don't already have a network, finding a place where you can start building your network. And so that might be
A
maybe.
network with your what that in that network are your target audience, right?
Mhm. Right, right. So, I mentioned I joined an organization that's for marketing agency owners, and so that was a great, fit for me. But yeah, if you're trying to reach small business owners, I mean, there's probably local associations you can join. There's online networking things you can. I tried some that right away that I didn't like, and so I didn't go back. Right, but it's just finding opportunities that are a good
Mhm.
fit for you and for, you to reach your target audience.
Yeah, very good. And then what are the principles, right? When it come to speaking, right? What are the sharing your message? We have one of the biggest fear in the world is the fear of public speaking. So, how you overcome that fear when you were in your corporate job? Were you doing presentations or speaking or?
I had just started doing that, doing some webinars. So in my former role as a director of marketing, I was the person behind the team, that I was helping plan speaking events and webinars and things like that. But I started actually joining
So
them,
somebody
doing.
else was speaking. You just preparing everything, and somebody else was doing the talk, right?
Yeah, for most of my time there, but then I started forcing myself to do a little bit of it, and I spoke at an event in a conference in Florida,
Oh
and
wow,
it is
that
this
was your
it's
first time.
yes, and
How
that
many
was
people?
just 2 years ago. Maybe 50 people in the room. It was still
Okay,
pretty small.
okay.
But yeah, I
Mhm.
had to really force myself because
Oh
it
yeah,
did not come easy for me.
yeah. But I think no, it doesn't come easy for anybody because
Yeah.
the biggest fear in the world is public speaking.
Yep.
Especially because when you're a kid, your parents are telling you don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, and because they want to protect you. Now, when you're in business, you have to all your whole thing you have to do is talk to strangers to find the clients.
Yep.
So, how you embrace it this and how you because I think that the whole thing is happened about to being in toxic environment in corporate because they don't want you to present, they're not taking your ideas, and now all your mindsets going now that maybe are not good enough. Maybe that's the way
Right.
it is, and then you go and talk about with everyone, and everyone saying, "Oh, you have to keep your job. This is the way it is." So the people are saying, "Well, same me. What do you think? I'm not different than you." And most of the you find this in corporate very common. A very common process. So where do you find the strength? Okay. And what happened in your environment? Because, if you're an employee or your friends are employees and your parents, you have a corporate job and now you tell them, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to have my own business. And maybe they're like, what? No, 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 no. Look for another job. So what happened in your environment when you started to do this by yourself? Do you have any support? Don't my parents, they love me, but I got a degree in chemical engineer and they still haven't. overcome that. They still don't know in depth what I do. Yeah, they are teachers, right? And they want me to go to university, have a degree, and find a very good job. That being their dream of their life, and they keep pursuing it. And every time something goes wrong in business, they are like, "Yeah, can you find a job now?" And you know what I mean? They try to find a
Yeah.
job. Find a job. So, which is amazing. They just try to help. They think that this is what is their life was. They study, went to university, have jobs as teachers and professors, and they know only this part, and I studied 5 years chemical engineering. I give them the degree, made them very happy, never touch the thing again. So tell us about your environment where do you find the support? Because when you started your own business and you're an employee, I've been there, so I know what I'm telling you. You need new friends. You need new people to empower you. So how do you manage to it was any support, or there were people who were very concerned that, oh God, she lost her job and now this is going worse. Now she wants to do her own business. So what happened?
I'll be honest, I think I just had a lot of great support,
Amazing.
personally, like
From where? From
my
family, from friend? Who was cheering for you?
from everyone. My
Oh,
my
wow.
husband owns a couple of businesses, and so
That's good.
him,
That's
yeah,
good. That's the first one that would be very happy, eh? Because,
yeah. To him, that was just like, yeah, bet on yourself. Do it, you
oh,
can do
well
it.
done. Very good.
And of course, my friends and family were concerned when I lost my job, but then, I was pretty proactive in updating people along the way and being really excited about what I was doing, and people didn't think anything different. I mean, it just, so I don't know. I felt
I
a
think
lot of
your husband
support.
was relieved, like, oh my God, thanks God she wants to do her own business. I don't know what
Yeah,
she's working for. Other people don't value her.
yeah, yeah,
I think he felt a big relief for you. To say, oh my God, finally. You know what I mean? Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing. How about parents? Family in
Same. I mean, my
general?
my mom was one of those people who told me right away. She said, "Yeah, there's a few of my friends' kids are looking for jobs, and she said you're the least of my concerns of that group. Like you'll be fine." So I remember hearing that from her and going, "Okay, like I can do this, right?" Like those comments just make you it just help build your confidence a
I
little
think you're
bit,
doing
and
amazing. And you're a great
yeah.
role model for female entrepreneurs out there. Very proud of you. So, Kelly, thank you so much for joining the podcast. And for all of you listening the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Entrepreneurs and Leaders, how brave entrepreneurs like Kelly break that wall and make a business a better place, a world a better place. Bye for now.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.